Don't forget that merch, man. We got keychains, we got stickers, which this one is the white sticker, and this one right here is the clear sticker. But we got stickers. Again, these are small enough, you know, they don't get in the way. And like I said, one of them's clear, one of them's white. We also have these things right here, coasters. See, we got the RC Guy Garage shirts. There's what it looks like on the back. Don't be afraid to go ahead and pick yourself up one. The link is in the, I think, the first line of the description of this video. I feel very confident that this is probably my longest running video series that I don't think is ever going to happen again. So today on RC Guy Garage, we're back working on the Losi TENACITY DB Pro. And like I've said in a couple of other videos, there's 5 of them. This is actually episode 6 in that video series. I think it's funny, man. That's crazy. I literally have never done that before. Got the Losi TENACITY DB Pro motor. This is 3150 kV. Discovered that the front motor bearing was destroyed. I will definitely place blame on myself for that because there is a certain amount of maintenance and abusage that I do and don't do, and you can be the judge of which one comes first. I think the second one does. I don't know, man. So anyways, this is that 3150 SPEKTRUM motor. This is the motor that's out of the 3S line, which is like Big Rock Setting and that other thing there, the Typhon. So what I'm going to do is, because the motor bearing that is, or was in that, was totally destroyed, I thought I had a bearing from this that would have fitted. Now this one already is motor bearing swapped out just like my other one. But one of the big differences when you're looking at the two motors is an obviousness of motor wire length. Now that is definitely going to play a part in the DB Pro because of how far the ESC is away from the motor. It needs all that wiring to make that distance. I am going to have to take the ESC off of its plate where it's located right now and then swap it over to the other side. I feel like there's enough room, and I feel there might even be a better balance placement because the heavier battery, or the batteries, are on that driver's side, where on the passenger side or right side of the vehicle, that just has the motor and the servo, and yeah. I should get out my scales so I can 4-corner balance this car. And then just figure out what battery I'm going to run. And most likely it's going to be a battery such as this one right here, which this is a Ovonic Rebel Series 5200 3S pack 60C. I have a whole ton of other Ovonic packs, and I might, you know, weigh up a couple of different packs because I have 100C, I have 80C, I have 2S, I have 3S. I've got a whole bunch of the Ovonic packs. So, yeah, very good battery. If you're looking for a battery that is a lower cost, but still provides longevity and plenty of power, Ovonic seems to be the battery of choice. At least that's what I go with. Other than that, you got Z. Z batteries are also good. For that lower cost, you know, price point. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. Took the motor out of its bag just to show you the physical comparison between the length of the wiring. You can see that there's a massive difference with the wires, and that is going to be a problem because I already know that with the way these wires were, these were pretty much stretched out and really realistically fit the car very well. Where this set of wires is extremely short. So this is that 3200 kV with the replaced hybrid bearing that I have in here from TBR RC or TRB RC. I always forget which way it is. This company right here, TRB RC. Those are the bearings that I seem to go with so far for fixing these motors. Now I do have the new bearings coming for this motor, so eventually this is going to go maybe back into the DB Pro or may go into something else. We'll see. This is a 50 kV slower motor, and I'm putting in a 50 kV faster motor. So we'll see. Works good in the Big Rock and the other thing there, the Senton. The other thing that I need to do is clean this up because you can see this is pretty nasty. It's got a whole bunch of grease and stuff. So I am going to pop this out, clean out this bearing here, and most likely repack this bearing, and the same thing with this side, clean this up a little bit and repack this bearing as well. Oh my God, Vector, you're going nuts over my wife over there. I think he's infatuated. So I'll be right back once I clean this. Alright, so I got these bearings cleaned out pretty good. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to pick out the seals. So you can either go from the inside or the outside. A lot of times I choose the outside first, but sometimes on these bearings, because they're thinner, harder to manage, I'll choose the inside. Get a look at that. Yeah, it's alright. Go after the inside, pick that seal right out of there. Just gotta be careful. You don't want to deform the seal. Now just go ahead and throw it in the juice, and do the same thing with this. And then once I'm done cleaning the bearings, I'll be back. These bearings are in pretty rough shape, so I'm pretty sure that this is going to be the last run for these bearings. They're really rough. They didn't clean up as well as I would like. They are free, but you can definitely tell that there's a little. It's just they're old. And even this seal right here is slightly compromised right there. No big deal. So I am going to go ahead and just pack them up. Just use this grease. Just make sure you wear gloves. I have the invisible gloves on right now, so I am protected. These are those new gloves that I've been trying out for years. So once I'm done packing these, I'll be back. I am going to leave the center diff alone, but I'm just going to go ahead and install the bearings on it. The way the center diff feels, I don't feel it necessary to crack this thing open. I feel that this is going to be mint now the way this is. I do need to clean out this side of the aluminum plate. Still need to do a little bit of cleaning inside of here. There's still sand and debris stuff that's in there. Some people have been questioning or wondering what this is right here. So I've left links in comments. I'll maybe even leave a link in the description. So all this is a battery tray that is Velcroed with that Sherlock stuff. It's a battery tray that's Velcroed in place. It stays locked in for 2 ways. It's up against the channel that's on this side rail right here, which comes up against this edge. And then also the way the center brace is, the very edge of this gets held in by the center brace. So this was like a no-brainer type of thing here. putting this battery tray in here. But you can see it also makes it easy to clean because there's no screws to pop out. You literally just pop this out, and then you've got full access to the entire chassis. And I've got to remove the ESC anyway, because you can see these wires, they're gonna be too short. And I don't think I can relocate this. I gotta look on the bottom here. Yeah, so there's one screw there, one screw there. And that's the mount. That's the mount for the ESC. So I can't really do anything as far as relocating it. But what I can do is I can pop it out of here. I do need to check my steering because the steering itself started to get a little bit doggy. And like I said, that could be the servo. The servo could be on its way out, but I figured while I'm here, I might as well, you know, clean the rest of this and then take it from there. So I've got the front steering assembly off. So what I think I'm noticing, I'm noticing a compound, possibly a compound situation. Because this thing has been near salt water, the ocean, there's rust that has happened on this arm. And the rust is actually affecting the little bushing pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this stuff apart and clean it. Now this is the Servo Saver down here, which I'm just going to pop this out, give this a check. So realistically, all of this stuff just needs to be cleaned back out. This does have bushings, so I'll clean off these areas and re-lubricate the bushings, clean the posts, just make sure everything is in better working order, and hopefully what that will do, wherever the other bushing is, hopefully what that's going to do, the other bushing is still in there, just kind of clean everything out and make everything happy again. So like I was saying, I had noticed that it appeared as though this piece must have backed off at some point because that's excessive slop, which probably could have been causing some of my binding. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop this off, make sure it's nice and clean, and then settle that screw back down and put just a little bit of, I think maybe I'll put like a little bit of lubrication on there, just depending upon how these two pieces look at, but you can see everything's nice and clean. These ball ends feel very good. They don't have any slop. They feel appropriately tight enough. I was able to just basically break down all these pieces and pretty much clean everything all together, just put it in the dishwasher on high temp pot and pan and just pray for the best. I've got this back together, however it's supposed to be. I think it goes this way. So this is all set now. So I just need to reinstall these pieces. I might get this lubed up just a slight touch, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. You kind of can't mess this stuff up because it only goes together one way. So I do need to clean these posts and obviously get that junk that's down in there out of there. So I'm going to clean off those posts and then reinstall all of this with these bushings, clean them all out. And like I said, I just use a 20-weight shock oil. I don't care. And I'll just lubricate little things and then obviously wipe off the excess so we're not attracting things. But this is definitely, I feel this is definitely going to be happier now. Okay, I've got things cleaned out. I went ahead and just lubricated just the bushings themselves. It's just what I'm choosing to do. Everything is buttery smooth now. So I'm hoping that this is what the issue was. I do feel like the binding was here, on here. Cleaning that out, getting rid of, the rust and stuff, and then throwing just a very tiny drop of lubricant in there just to keep things happy. And now I'm going to go ahead and put things back together. I'm going to leave the servo horn off, obviously because I need to recenter the servo itself once things get connected. I do need to remove the ESC, which is just, I'm going to pop off these two screws. Right here, there's a screw here, so there's 3 screws, and then obviously there's that base plate. But I want to get at least the ESC off so I can start figuring out a different placement of where I might want that ESC to go, just considering that the wires on this motor are just so short. That's the only reason why we're moving the ESC, is just because the wires, point blank, just do not make it. It's just not enough. Oh, wait a minute. Here I am talking out of my mouth here. It almost looks like the wires might make it. God damn it. So I'm going to fit the motor plate this way. I don't need to take the rust off the screws, that's fine. I'm not going to crank things down, I'm just going to kind of leave it loose enough so I can go ahead and just make sure things are going to fit. Because I thought for sure, with the length of the motor wires, I thought I was going to have to... Alright, so... if this is where the motor's going, do the motor wires? Nah, they don't. Yeah, see, they don't fit. I knew it. So, like I said, I am going to have to take off the ESC. I don't know why I was thinking... I don't know, man. Sometimes it's just the way things are done. I think I was placing the motor here when it's actually further towards the end. So you could definitely see these motor wires are definitely not going to work. So removing the ESC, and I guess it looks like I'm going to have to place it over here somewhere. So I'm going to give that a shot. Should be using my driver. Guy, use your driver. Okay. Now I wonder if this is stick taped also. No, it's not. Okay. But that is though. So the switch is stick taped, and I think I did that too. I think I had to redo that switch at one point. So I'm gonna go ahead and just carefully pry this switch off without breaking anything. God, that tape that I used. Holy smokes. Let the stabbings begin. Is that my tape? I can't tell. Either it was maybe this or the laser nut. Yeah. Alright. Get that out of there. So it does have this nice mount, but I don't think that I can do anything with that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop that off. There's no reason for it to be stuck on. Here we go. And I didn't lose a bushing, but do have to put it back in. That's going to keep coming out till I get the center brace back in. So, kind of almost wish I could mount this over here, but there's no hole. There is one hole right there. So, we'll see what's going on. See, there is a hole right there. I can't remember. Oh, no, that's used. Never mind. So it looks like maybe what I can do is stick tape maybe this whole thing down. I don't know if that'll work. It doesn't seem like it's going to be enough stick tape. So that could be an issue. Yeah, that could be an issue. So I'm going to figure out some placement and we'll be back. Okay, so first issue. I forgot. Wasn't paying attention. It's an offset front drive shaft, which leaves my space limited for installing this ESC. What I would have to do is cut the ears off so I can install it closer that way up against the side plate, and I don't want to do that. If I remount the ESC so that it's facing this way, definitely gives it more wire length. That might be what I have to do. So we'd be crossing the wires. It looks like the wires would definitely fit. The ESC could kind of be up against the chassis brace, so I could possibly zip tie it to the chassis brace. You know what I'm saying? And then these wires would connect no problem with the motor. It's like there's a possibility that might be what I have to do, but let's get this battery tray in here and just see what I'm looking at here. So the way I had this was I had the battery tray stuffed up against that edge, press it down and it literally goes nowhere, and then once the chassis brace is on, I'll just show you real quick. Once the chassis brace is on, see how the chassis brace basically keeps the tray down. You just can't see it, it's in those corners there, but once this is in place, the battery kind of locks under the chassis brace as well. So, yeah. Alright, so now ESC mounting. Can't go where I was thinking because just size limitations. I mean, like I said, if I cut the ear off, I could definitely mount it there. But I'm really not a fan of cutting the mounting ears off. I don't feel like notching the thing here. Remounting the ESC to this side looks like that would be a go. Just need to make sure nothing is in the way. So I could mount, I could mount the ESC right there, which means everything can kind of still stay in its position. Wires will make it to the motor. So let's just hook it up and make sure that the wires make it to the motor. So, plug them all in. Just to confirm. And yeah, that would definitely work. I don't like the idea of not having... See, the other thing about this plate too is it gives it additional air underneath. So having that plate definitely gives it additional air. And oh, look at that. That might be a win. See, what happens is you can see it's kind of locked under the chassis brace, kind of, sort of. But I'm really not interested in drilling holes. Nah, you know what I don't like? I don't like the fact that the wire is up against the brace right there. Yeah. Keep searching. I'll be back when I find a better scenario. Obviously, you can see that we're back. We're back with the finished scenario. So I ended up doing a COVID and coffee. If you want to see what happened during that COVID and coffee, you'll have to go back and watch that. It's 2 hours worth of episode. Obviously, there was, talk, but there was some conflict. I started to run into some conflicts. I thought I had things squared away, but what happens is that you have something that's set up in your mind, you try to go that route, and then you kind of decide other things, or you take the time and figure out what happened. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you the completed layout in a sense. I think it's complete. Yeah, I think this car is like ready to rip. This is the completed layout, I hope. And it did take a little bit of thinking. But anyways, I'm going to show you right now what the inside of the car looks like. So inside the DB Pro Ultra mod that we've got from RC Guy Garage here, we have got some pretty cool stuff happening. So you can see I've got the battery tray now mounted, same side, but mounted and moved all the way forward. And that fits absolutely mint. You can see we also have, I'll call this the debacle. You just go watch the live. I'm telling you, go watch the live. I think what I've got to do too is I've got to figure out, why is the screen looking all... I've got to figure out how to let the comments be. It's comment replay. I keep forgetting to let it be a comment replay. So this is basically almost done. I just realized right now I forgot one thing. Well, technically two. The second one doesn't really matter, but this is kind of the finished product. I'm going to show you gear mesh. That's why the cover's off. At least that's what I'm going with. But you'll be able to see how I've got things wired, zip tied. I did use an Arrma. It's either like a limitless infraction felony battery. Yeah, battery tray. Guy, it's not a battery tray. It's a receiver box. Receiver box. And that's got the factory receiver in there. And the reason why I'm saying go watch the live episode is because go watch the live episode. It's going to be kind of important. I've got the antenna coming out. I've got all my wiring. And it's my OCD about having wiring like be kind of like semi-correct and looking nice and all this other stuff. So you got the nice S-curve going on. When you plug in the battery wire comes this way. So let's just take a battery so I can show you what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to give an example. This is an Ovonic Rebel Series 5200 2S pack. Doesn't make a difference. I could throw a 3S pack in there, but I just the one I have in my hand. So I put the battery in. It's like that. The first section, I don't have to strap in. The second section, where I connect up, it'll hold down the connector into place. This is still a little bit to be desired. I'm still struggling a little bit with this, but that's all right. With a bigger battery pack in there, it works a little bit better. Right now, I'm just using a smaller pack, which obviously makes it so that the strap is, a little bit too long. But you can find a smaller strap. These are HRB straps. The straps that come with this thing, with this particular battery tray, are actually mint. So then you can see you got the wires coming over there in that side. And the best part about this is look at where the ESC is laid out. So I've got a gap. I got a gap, so basically if I need to or if I want to, I can shift this battery weight forward and aft, changing the way this car handles. Now this has completely changed the way this car is, but for some strange reason, when I put it on a 4-corner scale compared to original, this balances out better. Now, I'm going to set up the 4 scales and I'm going to throw this on so you can see what I'm talking about. We're not talking about zeros across the board. We're talking about the balance that this car now has is more centrally located, where before it was way aft. Heavy motor, heavy battery, light ESC, blah, blah, whatever. For some strange reason, the way things are now, it's just seems to be balanced better. The ESC being at an angle like that, it's not on purpose. I mean, it was literally, I'll show you. It was because these screws right here are offset. And you could see this screw right here. That's now center countersunk. So that's perfect. So I countersunk it with my drill with a Phillips bit on the end. The motor switch is in by the same Velcro strip that's here. So, I mean, I'll just turn it on. The steering itself is definitely better. So I'll let you see the steering. It's not ultra fast, but it's definitely better than it was before. Before, it was binding. I mean, and that's obviously, that's a SPEKTRUM older receiver. Yeah, receiver. SPEKTRUM older servo, but it still does work. The only thing now that I'll show you is that this is still like factory setup, but when I hit throttle, goes in reverse. Okay? So that's my one negative right now. Alright, so anyways, so there we are. You can obviously see that the car now goes in reverse. So what I'll have to do is I dug out this thing right here. I dug out my Smart, and I definitely recommend, if you've got a Smart ESC, go ahead and get one of these. Only if you've got the money. I mean, they're not really expensive, and I think the options that it gives you, it's just that much easier to go ahead and just punch through the settings. So I'm going to shut this off. I'm going to plug in this part of the programmer into the fan plug. So I'm going to just undo this. I'm going to take my battery out of here. Just kind of get it out of the way. Leave it plugged in. You can see how I have the wires all nice. Now I've got to access that plug. I can pull it out by using needle nose. Reach in and grab it. Carefully pull that plug out. You can see that the negative wire is facing this side of the ESC, and the red and the space is facing the other side. So when I plug this in, I want to make sure I mimic that. And I plug in this little plug here. It really makes it hard to see in there. So just like that. I'm going to turn on the ESC. Horizon PB 3.239. I'm going to go ahead and hit select, which is just going to connect to the ESC. You can see we've got software. Wait a minute, what does that say? Monster? Did that thing say monster? Wait a minute, what did that say? Let's see that again. Connecting ESC. ESC's profile monster? What the heck does that mean? All right, so this is set up for one, running mode, which is forward, reverse, brake. We're okay with that, so we're going to hit select, which will go to the next one. So number 2 is drag brake. That's set at 0. We're not using drag brake on this particular car. Go to setting 3. Voltage, basically voltage cut. 3 volts per cell will be the voltage cut. Punch level is set at 4. Brake force is at 75%, which I'm pleased with. Now this, reverse force. This is what I had a problem with. So I'm going to bump this up. I'm going to say 50%. Go with that and see how that works. And then I'll hit save for that. Now go select again to number 7. Initial brake, which is drag brake. I don't know what that is. What do you mean initial brake? I don't know what that means. What would that mean? 20%? Huh. 0, 20, 40, and then it goes right back to drag brake. I'm going to leave it at 0 because I don't know what the heck that is. Neutral range. 9%. What the heck is neutral range? Well, it's at 9%. 12, 6, 9. I don't know what neutral range means. I'm going to have to look that up. It was at 9%. I guess I'm just going to leave it there. Timing. 15 degrees of timing. So we can change the timing on this. So 1875, 22.5, 26, 0. So we had it at what? 15 degrees timing is what this thing was set up at. I'm just going to leave it the way it was. Motor rotate. Counterclockwise. We're going to edit that to clockwise and hit save. And number 12, lipo cells, which is auto-calculate. So, let's see, just out of curiosity, 2S, 3S, 4S. So yeah, this obviously does go up to 4S. I really wouldn't recommend going 4S on a DB Pro because, yeah, let's just save this, make sure it's all set. I'm going to go ahead and shut it off. Unplug this. I want to just say something about that. Unplug that. Replug back in the wire here for the fan. Alright, I gotta go let my dog out. I'll be back. Huh? You need to go out? Huh? You want to go out? Is that what you're doing? Oh, yeah. Alright, come on. Ready? Come on, let's go. Bye, sweetie. Love you. Alright, hold on. Hold on, ready? Go. Haley, come on. Let's go this way. Come on. Every once in a while, you got to take a break and let the Rugrat dogs out. Now when you flip the top down, you have no conflict with the wires. That was part of something I forgot to tell you or show you. See? No more conflict. No more rubbing, no more scraping, no more nothing. This thing, I pretty much feel that this thing is now ready. Granted, this does still have issues, but I'm okay with that. This is like the testing phase. I'm going to run it on 2S again. I might pop in a 3S pack. I'm still running in the new mesh for the front and rear differential, especially the rear. The rear differential was really wasted in this thing, but it's all shimmed out and it works. This thing is running much bigger tires obviously than factory, and it's been this way most of its life. Now don't forget, in the description below, don't forget there's merch. Buy the merch, guy. Click a thumbs up, buy some merch, keep this channel rocking and rolling, and I'll keep the content going. Like, for real. I'm gonna end up probably doing another live tonight, which Yeah. I always stuff my foot in my mouth when I say something like that. I think I may end up doing that. I think I'll do another live today. I just don't know what it's going to be on. What's it going to be on? Cleaning my bench? So, anyways, I think that's pretty much it. This is RC Guy Garage. This is remaking the DB Pro to hopefully a better out-of-the-box experience than it was OTB, which is out of the box. It's the RC Guy Garage version of out of the box. Very slight modifications. I don't even call these, I mean, I know they are modifications because they're modifications beyond stock, but yeah, they're just modifications. So, yeah. I don't know, man. Like I always say, just get out there and rip it. Keychains, coasters, stickers, white, clear. How do you know the difference? How do you know the difference? Clear stickers have a larger outline and the white stickers do not. I label them on the back anyway. And the same thing with the free stickers. If you order a certain amount of items, you get a free sticker. Come on, guy. Shirts. This is obviously the logo on the front. This is the logo on the back. You know you want to get yourself an RC Guy Garage shirt. I mean, come on. Team Not One Pack. Who doesn't want to be part of Team Not One Pack? Come on. Anyways, I'm out. Well, I'm not. Yeah, anyways. Yeah. Pay attention to the credits because the credits in this live stream that we had today, holy crap. You guys are stinking animals. So anyways, so, man, where's the hole? Right there. Oh no, I'm right. Never mind. Never mind. Freaking out for no reason. I still might have to. Oh god. Oh no, I'm right. Never mind. Never mind. Freaking out for no reason.